I spent over a decade chasing after the wrong women, telling myself that it was just for practice, when in reality, I was pursuing these women out of my own loneliness, pain, and lack of self-esteem. I was going for women that on the outside were gorgeous, they were beautiful women, but inside they were completely broken, spiritually disconnected, needy, toxic, anxious, avoidant, right? Women that couldn't actually meet my needs. Not the type of women that I would want to build a family with. And when I would actually meet a woman that was high quality, that had her shit together, that was not only beautiful, but was someone who was deep and emotionally healthy as well, I would completely sabotage it. My insecurities would get in the way and I would push her away very fast. Now, over this past decade, through my own failures, through my own trials and tribulations, I figured out that there's actually 7 steps that every man, including myself, has to go through to be able to attract a wife material woman. A woman that is not only a 10 out of 10 in terms of physical looks and her appearance, but that also has the qualities that would make her an amazing wife and an amazing mother to your children as well, right? The type of woman that's connected with God, that has faith, that has great habits, that's healthy, that's fit, that's emotionally secure. In this video, we're going to break down the 7 steps that you have to go through to attract and retain this type of woman. So make sure to stay until the very end of the video, because habits and steps 6 and 7 are going to be the most important. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. So the first step that you have to take to attract a wife material woman is removing all of the noise and all of the distraction in your life. The physical distraction, the sexual distraction, the emotional distraction, everything that is clawing for your attention and for your consciousness. So I want you to just take a moment and think about what are all the things that you're doing right now in your life that are out of alignment with being able to attract the caliber of women that you really want. Are you still watching porn? Are you subscribed to OnlyFans? Are you spending hours every day scrolling on Instagram, lusting and thirsting after different influencers? Because that's 100% things that I was doing that were preventing me from even feeling worthy enough of approaching, not even attracting, but even approaching the type of woman that I really saw as a potential partner in my life. So once you identify what some of these first sexual habits are that are dark, that are hurting you, that are pushing this type of woman away, what I want you to do is reflect on what's going to happen if you continue living in these cycles. What's going to happen if you keep watching porn for the next couple of years, if you keep spending money on OnlyFans, if you keep walking around day to day and just looking at women through this lens of lust without any intention, without any real desire to go and connect with them, but just looking at them as sex objects. Like, if you keep doing this, where are you going to be in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years? How much time are you going to waste? Because every time you do this, you are building a habit. You're strengthening this pattern in your mind of just pedestalizing women and objectifying them and putting them on this altar instead of viewing them as, you know, these humans, right? These beautiful humans out of which you can select one that is the real fit for you and for your life to build this legacy with. Okay, so that's the first step, is doing a full audit on all of your sexual habits. From there, look at your health habits. Like, what are you eating? What are you consuming? Are you working out? Are you sleeping well? Are you spending time outside? Are you moving your body? What are the things that you're doing? Maybe you're eating complete junk food. Maybe you're not exercising. Maybe you're just not taking good care of yourself. Like, all of these things are foundations to being able to attract a high quality wife material woman. From there, look at your financial habits. Like, what are you spending money on? Are you drinking? Are you doing drugs? Are you smoking? Are you consuming just hours of garbage content? Just frying your brain with things that are not of the same consciousness level as this woman that you want to attract. So go ahead, do that audit, figure out what are the things that you need to let go of right now Because if you don't let go of them, they're going to continue weighing on you and burdening you and pulling you down in this really low energetic space of shame, guilt, apathy. And how are you ever going to be able to attract a woman that is a high quality wife material woman from that place? Okay, so that's going to be step number one. Step number two from here is rebuilding your identity from scratch. And this is actually probably the most important thing that I did on this journey to being able to attract this extremely high quality woman that is inside and out a 10, is I gave my life to God and to Jesus Christ. Instead of making it all about me and I'm the one that's in control and I'm the one that needs to go out and figure all this out on my own and I'm the one that needs to be perfectly confident and perfectly charismatic all the time, I just surrendered and I gave it all to God. And I realized that through God, I don't need to be perfect because I'm worthy through Him. When I put my being and my life in God, He works through me and He gives me all the confidence and all the peace and all the security, all the love that I really need to be attractive and to be powerful. So that's the next step that I took, is surrendering my life to God. Now, from that, you also want to look at what are the past emotions, the past traumas, the past limiting beliefs that you've adopted, that you've ingested through your life and through the different negative experiences that you've been through. Maybe it's childhood trauma, maybe it's past rejections, past breakups, just things that have shattered your psyche, that have crippled your self-esteem. I mean, I literally had years and years and years of negative reference experiences that I had within my mind, within my body, within my soul that I was carrying. And how possibly can I attract the woman that's going to be my wife, the mother of my kids, if I'm continuing to walk with this weight and with this bag of rocks on my shoulder? So doing that inner work in addition to connecting with God is going to be the next step. Right? That's all technically part of step two, is clearing out those traumas, working through those negative emotions, working through those limiting beliefs. This is exactly what we've done with clients for the past 7 years now inside of the accelerator, is taking guys who have just been burdened by so much pain and shame and trauma and helping them finally let it go and redevelop their identity. First, by putting their life into God's hands, and then from there, developing the right beliefs that allow them to feel like a high value, successful, confident, competent, worthy man who deserves the exact type of woman that he wants. Okay, that's step number two. Now, the third step is actually building the skill set, mastering the art of approaching and attracting beautiful women. If this is not something that you've done, if this is not something that you're competent in, then it's absolutely a skill set that you're going to have to develop. Now, there's a couple ways that you could go about doing this. For me personally, I spent over 10 years, as I mentioned, approaching thousands and thousands of women on the street, on the beach, at nightclubs, at bars, at grocery stores, over and over and over again, getting rejected, learning little by little how to flirt, how to build sexual tension, how to connect with women emotionally, how to go through the whole seduction process. Very important skills. But instead of going down that route, there's actually a much more fast, effective, and natural path that you can take called golden interaction training. And this is where, instead of you having to sleep with thousands of women and actually create more trauma for yourself and disconnect yourself even more from God, what you can do is learn the skill set in a closed, safe, non-judgmental environment with real beautiful women over video. Okay, this is a model, this is a whole concept that I developed a couple years ago that's been transformational for not only helping clients develop the skills with women, as I said, learning how to approach them, how to carry conversations, how to be man to woman, how to lead things towards that connection romantically that they really want, but also do it in a way that's pure, right? And that allows them to unlearn all of their old bad habits with women as well. So how this works is you jump on a video call with a real beautiful woman, you have a practice interaction, and within a couple minutes, you're going to get personalized feedback on what you're doing well in what you're not doing well, in all of the little ways that you're self-sabotaging yourself with beautiful women. So it's really important that you master these skills, because without these skills, you're going to be limited. Because when it's going to actually come time for you to go out into the real world and attract your future wife, what are you going to do? How are you going to get out of your head when you see her? How are you going to overcome that fear of rejection? How are you going to be able to actually know how to lead her and move things forward in the direction that you want? And, you might be thinking about the relationship or the marriage, but I want you to take a step back for a second. Like, you need to first master the first minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of that interaction for her to actually see you as a viable partner, as somebody who she would want to continue building this relationship with. Okay? So mastering these skill sets is going to be that third step for you. Without them, you're going to be lost and you're going to be stuck. Now, the fourth step that is critical is getting really clear now on what you're actually looking for in a wife, okay? What does she look like? What is her lifestyle like? What are her passions? What are her hobbies? What are her interests? What is her character like? What is her relationship with God? What is the type of relationship that you want to have with her? Emotionally, sexually, spiritually? Like, what is the dynamic that you want to have? Do you want to be the leader? Do you want to be dominant in the relationship? Do you want to be submissive? Like, you need to figure these things out for yourself. You need to map these things out and get crystal clear, because without them, you're not going to have any power and you're not going to have any intention when you're actually meeting her, right? You're just going to be like a leaf blown around in the wind with no real grounding. Okay? Now, once you've built this foundation of first breaking, clearing out your bad habits, redeveloping, reinventing your identity in God, the third step is building these interaction skills, mastering the art of attraction. Now I'm saying the fourth step is going to be getting that clarity and getting that real vision on where you want to go in your dating life and in this relationship that you're going to build. Now, once you have these 4 steps down, the 5th step is going out into the field. And now that you have your foundation built and you have this clarity, the next step is leading and actually going for what you want. So going out to the places where this woman that you described is going to spend time at. Maybe it's going to be church. Maybe it's going to be at a healthy grocery store, at a yoga event, at a wellness studio, right? It could be anywhere, but getting really clear on where she is and then actually going out and meeting her and implementing everything that you've developed in step 3. So the approach, the introduction of your interaction, building that connection with her, being really clear about your intentions, and then exchanging contacts and moving things forward to a date, the second date, the third date, the fourth date, so on and so forth, right? Building this connection with her, not from a place of fear or anxiety or confusion, but from complete intention. Now, the next step is step 6, which is testing for alignment. Now, the first thing I'll say is that most guys don't even get to this point where they have a beautiful, healthy, high-quality woman that is ready and willing to commit to them and have a real relationship with them that leads to potential marriage. And when most guys do get to this point, the rare few that actually do, they fall into one of 2 traps. The first trap is just diving headfirst into this relationship, thinking to themselves, oh my God, like I was able to get this beautiful woman. I'm so lucky. This is such a win for me. She's such a prize. Let me just dive in headfirst and see where this goes. They allow lust, they allow eagerness, they allow this innocent excitement to just carry them into this relationship without any discernment, without any purpose, without any actual connection with themselves and with God and with what they really actually want for this relationship. So that's the first mistake. And a lot of the time when guys do that, they end up losing respect from the woman. They end up kind of becoming this people pleaser nice guy. And a lot of the time the woman in the future ends up walking away from them because they didn't build a relationship on the right foundation. The second trap that guys fall into is what I call the player trap, is they think that just because they were able to attract this amazing woman, that all of a sudden they are a god themselves, that they're this absolute legend and they could attract many, 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 many more women just like her. So instead of committing her, they should avoid, they should pull back, they should keep pursuing, they should keep staying in this chase. And me personally, I've fallen into both of these traps. Very, very common for men. And instead of this, what you want to do is you want to follow the narrow path. The path of what I call testing for alignments. And what this really means is, if you've heard the word shit test before, this is when a woman is qualifying you. She's testing you to see if you are husband material, if you are somebody who is really worthy enough for her to invest into. Where what you want to do is you want to do quite the opposite. You want to test her. You want to shit test her to see if she is going to be a wife material woman. What is her relationship with God? How does she put up with constructive criticism? Is she able and willing to be led? Does she respect your boundaries? Does she meet your needs emotionally? Is she secure? What happens when she's having a bad day or she's in a bad mood? Does she crumble? Does she disrespect you? Does she explode? Or is she able to open up her heart and be vulnerable and be authentic with you? How does she react in the most difficult moments? This is what you're testing for. Because at the end of the day, not every day in your relationship is going to be a beautiful day. It's not always going to be shining the sun. There's going to be days that are going to be really stormy and really dark and really difficult. And you want somebody there who can handle the turbulence as well. Okay? So that is going to be step 6, which is testing for alignment. Now, once you've gotten to that point, you can, from a very calm, from a very centered, or a very grounded place of awareness, make the choice to have a relationship with her and to commit to her and to eventually make her your wife, to lock in your legacy with this woman, right? You yourself have built your foundation as a man. You have a relationship with God. You've broken free from your addictions and your vices and your demons. You've let go of your shame and your guilt and your limiting beliefs. You've built and mastered the skill sets that allow you to know that you can attract many different women, but you really choose to be with one. You've gotten clear on exactly who that is. You've went ahead, you've approached her, you've connected with her, you've attracted her. You've led things forward. You've tested her hardcore on alignment with you and on your purpose. And from there, you can lock her in as your future wife. Okay? So if you've enjoyed this video, and if maybe there are certain parts of this process that for you specifically, you feel like are weaknesses for you, that you struggle with, maybe it's step 3, right? You lack the skill set. You've never had the ability to approach a lot of women. You get in your head, you overthink, you second guess yourself, you judge yourself. Maybe it's step 2, where you struggle with sexual shame, or even potentially religious guilt, or past trauma, or limiting belief systems. Or maybe it's step 5 on actually going out and putting all this into practice, and you would like my support with this. Then what I invite you to do is click the link below and apply to speak with me personally, so we can discuss our private program, The Accelerator, is where I help high value, successful men like yourself that are actually ready to attract this wife material woman into their lives. So thank you, and I'll see you soon.